Let's take ourselves back to 2022, the 22nd World Cup Final. The atmosphere inside the Lusail Stadium is literally buzzing. I mean, you could practically cut the tension with a knife. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to break down what has to be one of the most dramatic spectacles in modern sports history. We're looking at how one single chaotic match became the absolute crucible for one man's legacy, and how Lionel Messi's destiny ended up hanging by the absolute thinnest of threads.
Okay, let's dive into this. To finish football. Just let that sink in for a second. This match was so much more than just a standard game of 22 guys chasing a ball around. This was Lionel Messi's ultimate, agonizing, final shot at destiny. For over a decade, actually closer to a decade and a half, he'd given the sport this unmatched, almost alien magic, right? But he still had that one glaring omission in his trophy cabinet. This was it. His second and definitively last chance to complete the set, to take his unquestionable greatness and finally crown it. And the stage really couldn't have been set with a more dramatic contrast. On one side, you've got Argentina, a nation absolutely desperate, and I mean desperate, for their first World Cup title since 1986. They're carrying this immense burden of bringing the trophy back to South America. And on the other side, France, the defending champions, a squad looking to cement a modern European dynasty. So you've got this historical desperation colliding head-on with cold, conquering ambition. Now take a look at this number. 12. Only 12 men in the entire history of the sport have played in 2 World Cup final wins. It's a tiny, wildly exclusive club. But heading into this match, 6 players on the French squad had the chance to add their names to that list. 6. To put that into perspective, that just perfectly demonstrates the sheer, terrifying mountain Messi and his teammates were up against. They were facing a machine that knew exactly how to win on the biggest stage imaginable. Section 1. A masterclass in control. So the whistle blows, and the narrative we all kind of expected didn't actually happen. Argentina didn't play like a team paralyzed by nerves. Not at all. They took absolute suffocating control of the game. France started out really sloppy, and Angel Di Maria was just completely terrorizing their defense, eventually drawing this clumsy penalty. And up steps Messi. The weight of an entire nation is sitting squarely on his shoulders, yet he looks like the coolest guy in the building, calmly slotting it away from 12 yards out. Add in a completely sensational team goal finished off by Di Maria, and suddenly it's halftime, and it's 2-0. Argentina is totally running the show. For a brief, shining moment, it really felt like Messi's incredible burden was finally lifting. Section 2. The 90-second shock. But just when the entire world started engraving Argentina's name on the trophy, the game flips. And I mean flips completely. Look at the sheer speed of this collapse. 79th minute. Argentina is cruising, no problems. 80th minute. Kolo Muani gets brought down. Kylian Mbappe steps up to the spot. Martinez actually guesses right, but there's just too much power on it. 2-1. Then, in the 81st minute, literally before Argentina can even catch their breath, Mbappe strikes this absolutely sensational volley. Boom, tie game. In under 90 heart-stopping seconds, Mbappe single-handedly dragged the defending champions back from the dead. It sent absolute whiplash through that Argentine squad. I want you to just pause and really think about this for a second. Have you ever had a lifelong dream ripped away from you at the absolute last possible second? Imagine the suffocating psychological weight crashing down on Messi in that exact moment. A dream he was literally minutes away from holding in his hands, just dissolving right in front of his eyes. Could they possibly recover their mental strength after a collapse like that? Section 3. Extra time chaos. You know, it was only the 8th time in history that a World Cup final had gone this far, and it turned into this agonizing narrative foil. The legendary veteran on one side, the young disruptor on the other, just treating massive blows. Deep into extra time, Messi manages to force this gritty, super scrappy goal just over the line, 3-2. Once again, he thinks he's finally secured his legacy. But Mbappe? He responds with this unmatched mental strength, ripping a shot that catches an arm in the box. Another penalty. Mbappe converts it for a historic hat-trick, 3-3. The twists literally just would not stop. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it proves that the margin between historical triumph and utter devastation is razor thin. In the absolute dying seconds of extra time, France's Kolo Muani is clean through on goal. It's a one-on-one. This is the moment that could end Messi's dream forever. But Argentina goalkeeper Emilio Martinez throws out a leg and makes this miraculous last-gasp save. It's the save that literally kept Argentina alive and forced the game to the absolute brink.
Section 4. The ultimate mental test.
So, we arrive at the penalty shootout, the most isolated, nerve-shredding environment in sports. Let's walk through the brutal simplicity of this. Mbappe, completely unfazed, steps up first and scores his third penalty of the night. Then it's Messi's turn. The pressure here is astronomical. If he misses, the dream is pretty much over. But he stylishly, so coolly just rolls his shot in to equalize, completely steadying his panicked team. From there, Martinez takes over. He saves Coman's kick, uses his infamous mind games to force a miss from Tchouaméni, and that paves the inevitable path for Gonzalo Montiel to step up, score, and win the World Cup.
Section 5. Out of the shadow. The moment that final ball hit the back of the net, wow. The cathartic release was immense. Decades of heartbreak instantly washed away. And this brilliantly illustrates the poetic timing of it all. The first World Cup to have taken place since the death of Diego Maradona, the first one won in the life of Lionel. For his entire career, Messi had been chased by the ghost of Maradona, the hero of '86. But with this victory, that crushing weight was finally gone. The torch was undisputedly passed. This was it, Messi's defining moment of triumph.
When we look at the final legacy of this tournament, there were obviously incredible individual performances all around. Enzo Fernandez broke out as a star, winning Young Player of the Tournament. Kylian Mbappe secured the Golden Boot with 8 goals. But make no mistake, the defining image, the one that's going to echo through sports history forever, is Lionel Messi, named the world's best, finally holding that World Cup trophy. A trophy he looks like he was never, ever going to let go of. He truly completed his hero's journey.
So the crucial takeaway is this. Messi didn't just win a piece of gold. He survived an emotional roller coaster that would have broken almost anyone else. Which leaves us with this question to ponder. How does the crushing weight of expectation actually shape the legacy of our greatest athletes? Does ultimate greatness actually require surviving this kind of extreme, agonizing pressure to be truly cemented? Think about how you handle the heaviest expectations in your own life. Thank you for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.